currently on Knowsley Road, and at the end of this road we're going to be turning to the left. The thing to watch out for about this road is the change in system. We're turning left here, but you can see just on the bend as we turn, it becomes a one-way street. So as I've turned now, I'm now on a one-way street. Now it's quite clearly marked here with an arrow down the middle of the road, and then the lane split into two, and we're turning right at the end, so you want to be fully over into the right-hand lane. Again, floor markings and the triangles will let us know that, with the double broken white line at the end of the road going from the left all the way to the right. That's our last hint to let us know we're in a one-way street. This is Queen's Way. Leading on to Belvedere Road. We're now on Liscard Road, taking the next road on the right, which we can see early on the sign is a one-way street and a 20 zone. So you can turn as early as you want there, not worry about cutting the corner. Going into a one-way street, we can turn more onto the right hand side if you feel that's the best position to turn into. This is called Parkside. Just coming up here, Parkside is a crossroad, and the danger is more to the right here for people coming from the park, like cyclists or just children running back to their homes. So make sure you slow and give a great look both sides before you continue into Hampstead Road. This is a long road, and it's quite easy to forget about you being in a one-way street, but it is one big hint and reminder constantly as we're heading down this road. Sometimes you will spot the signs to the right. There we go, watching out for cars who don't check the blind spots there. So sometimes you'll spot the one-way signs, but other clues are look at all the cars either side of the road, all facing the same direction. So when the examiner says turn right at the end of the road, we want the right hand lane all the way across. These triangles on the floor are exactly that, give way triangles, they're not arrows. And our last clue is the broken double lines all the way across the road from the left towards the right to let us know that it's a one-way street. No one is going to be turning into this road, only us are able to turn out of it. The road from Hampstead leads us on towards Portman Road. We're now going to be turning into Ashville Road off Oakdale Road. It's quite a sharp first gear turn, and as you turn in there's always parked cars at least on the right hand side of the road, so really take it slow coming in. There's a school on the left, so hold your speed because there still might be more cars coming along either to pick up or drop off children or just passing through this road, but it can always be quite busy with traffic. Also along this route the examiner won't give you any directions because we have to respond to road signs and markings. So as we start this bend round to the right, we can see ahead of us is a no entry sign, which means we must take the next left going into the one-way system. If you didn't indicate there, not worry about it, but do check your centre and left mirror. So now that we're in the one-way system, again it's a slow, sharp right-hand turn. You never know what's around the corner. And there's a lot of parked cars in this road. Very narrow today on this video. And the examiner will ask you to turn right at the end of the road. Remember, it's a one-way street, so we must position the car as far to the right as safely as we can. Now because of the van and caravan, we can't go all the way over to the right position, so I'm as close to that position as I can get. Also, there's quite a few parked cars on this main road that I want to join, so I've held a little bit back from the end of the road to see down the pavement for safety. I'm being patient until I can see my space, and then I'm going to crawl out, not go too quick, until I can see around the van and obstruction before I make my full commitment to turn in case I've missed something like a motorbike or a cyclist. So that's Oakdale into Ashville, and a one-way street turning right at the end of the road, getting as right as we possibly can. We're still on Mill Hill Road, and this can be another confusing part of a driving test route. The sat-nav will give you an advance warning that at the end of the road you should turn to the right. What confuses people is they just hear turn right rather than at the end of the road, and start to think that they should be turning to the right here where the no entry is. Remember, you do not ever turn into a no entry. We're going to follow the road ahead into the one-way system, and the end of road is when we can no longer follow the road ahead, which we can see here because there's a building ahead of us, and be as far to the right as you safely can be, because again, it's a one-way street. The view is a bit restricted to the right turn out of this road due to parked cars, so just make sure you're absolutely sure it's safe before you emerge. You may have to wait for a little bit of time. We're now approaching Wallasey Village roundabout, coming from New Brighton. I'm going to be turning first exit left. It says St John's Road. It's a one-way system, and it's a very hard road to spot. It's just after the railings on the left, so we check our centre and left mirror and indicate, following the railings, and again you can see there's no floor markings on our approach. The markings are on the roundabout, so we have priority to turn in. The thing that's difficult when you make this left turn is spotting the one-way signs as you turn into the road, because there's a lot going on the approach. But a clue that we're in a one-way street is look at all the parked cars. They're all facing the same direction. What's nice about this one-way as well, if we're asked to turn right, which we will be at the end of the road, you can see the floor markings aren't lying to us. The arrow is telling us to use the right-hand lane to turn right at the end. It's a little bit of a hill start at the end, but also our view is restricted by the parked cars, so it's a little bit of an edge for your view until you can see it's safe to carry on. Remember, if you're not quite happy with the little nudges, it's okay to nudge, brake, put your handbrake back on. But always remember, St John's Road is a one-way, a bit of a tricky hill start at the end.